have with us an amazing representative from the Organic Consumers Association. You guys have all heard of the Organic Consumers Association, I'm assuming. Yes? Yes. So, Alexis Bayden-Mayer is a lawyer who has worked since 2005 as the political director of the Organic Consumers Association, a network of more than 1 million activists committed to creating a healthy, just, democratic, and regenerative food system. Alexis, a key organizer of some of OCA's most popular campaigns, including the Monsanto Makes Us Sick campaign to ban Roundup. Yes! Alexis isn't afraid to put her body on the line to call attention to the crisis in our food system. In 2014, the U.S. Health Freedom Congress awarded Alexis the Health Freedom Award for direct actions that she's taken, which resulted in her arrest. She got arrested. We have a criminal in the house. No, just kidding. Where was I? Including shutting down the National Organic Standards Board meeting to protest the weakening of organic standards, and entering the White House grounds to deliver a petition to First Lady Michelle Obama in support of GMO labels, one of her husband's unfulfilled campaign pledges. Alexis' proud moment as an activist came in 2016 when Bernie Sanders tweeted a C-SPAN video clip of her dumping Monsanto money on the Senate floor to protest the corrupting influence of money in politics. We have a powerhouse in the house. Let's give it up for Alexis.
It's bad enough to suffer a tragedy where you or a loved one is struck with a painful, debilitating, or deadly illness. It is worse to learn that the tragedy could have been prevented, and it is much, much worse to learn that the tragedy would have been prevented, should have been prevented, if the product that caused your suffering wasn't making a certain company very rich and powerful enough to hide the truth and stop government regulators from protecting the public from its dangers. Many farmers, farm workers, pesticide applicators, and home gardeners who are exposed to Monsanto's Roundup herbicide get cancer. This happened to my own grandmother. In 1994, she died of breast cancer. Until she died, she kept her beautiful rose garden weed-free with Roundup. It never occurred to me that there was a connection. It wasn't until 2013 that I would end up reading scientific papers with titles like "Glyphosate induces human breast cancer cells growth via estrogen receptors." And it wasn't until 2015 that the World Health Organization would announce that glyphosate, the main ingredient in Monsanto's Roundup herbicide, is a probable human carcinogen. We should have known. Really, we actually should have known. We had a right to know because Monsanto knew, and the Environmental Protection Agency knew. My grandma died in 1994, but Monsanto has known that glyphosate could cause cancer since 1981. And in 1985, before Monsanto got it to change its opinion, the EPA classified glyphosate as a possible human carcinogen. Once every 15 years, the EPA has to review its decision to allow the use of certain pesticides. They're currently reviewing glyphosate. Thanks to the incredible work of lawyers like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a lawsuit on behalf of Roundup-exposed cancer victims has unearthed documents that reveal Monsanto has been working with unscrupulous EPA employees to suppress the evidence that Roundup causes cancer. We know this because a 30-year EPA toxicologist, Marion Copley, courageously battled Jess Rollins, the chair of the EPA's Cancer Assessment Review Committee, who figured he could retire more comfortably if he helped out Monsanto. In 2013, before the World Health Organization announcement, Marion Copley examined the science, and she figured out how glyphosate could cause cancer. She summarized the evidence for Rollins, and she pleaded with him. For once in your life, listen to me and don't play your political conniving games with the science to favor the registrants. Wow. What made Marion Copley so brave? When she wrote this, Marion Copley had battled cancer for 15 years. She had the goods on Rollins, and she had less than a year to live. She called him out. She wrote, "You and Anna Lowett intimidated staff on the Cancer Assessment Review Committee and changed Hazard Identification Assessment Review Committee and Hazard Science Policy Committee final reports to favor industry." Jess Rollins is now comfortably retired, but Anna Lowett is now the Senior Science Advisor, one of the most important positions at the EPA's Office of Pesticide Programs. If she's intimidating EPA scientists and changing committee reports to favor Monsanto, that needs to be stopped. I'd like to make a personal request to all of you. Please let your members of Congress and senators know what Monsanto is doing at the EPA. Urge them to demand a Department of Justice investigation into EPA Monsanto collusion. When Congress comes home for its recess in April, they're home for 2 weeks. Let's make sure the Revolution for Truth is banging down their doors. Only an investigation will reveal the full truth about how Monsanto has gotten the EPA to suppress the evidence that Roundup causes cancer. We've got to keep the pressure on Congress, but we need to fight for the right of our local communities to ban Roundup. At the Organic Consumers Association, we recently launched our new Resist and Regenerate campaign. We want to work with all of the Revolution for Truth organizations and supporters to bring the truth to our local communities and to the politicians who represent us, not just in Congress, but at the local and state level as well. If you'd like to join the Resist and Regenerate campaign, please text REGENERATE to 97779. Text REGENERATE to 97779. Let's bring the Revolution for Truth home and get to work. Let's ban Roundup. Let's ban risky vaccines. Let's drive companies like Merck and Monsanto out of the CDC, out of the EPA. Let's drive these companies out of our schools, out of our doctors' offices, out of our communities, and out of our bodies.